Beauty. Nice and straight, not a whole lot of thinking. Launch monitor says 181.4, club speed 95.3. It's a beautiful shot for an 8-iron. And I was able to hit that shot just kind of walking up to it, not thinking a whole lot, telling my shoulders to swing. What in the world did I do to strike that without much thinking? Segundo golfers today, we are looking at having a swing that relies on timing versus a swing that has no variables at all. Taking out variables. Most golfers learn at birth a swing that relies on a lot of timing. They're taught to be active with their hands. They're taught to lift their arms and put their clubs in certain positions. And it ends up getting you in a spot where hitting the ball becomes quite difficult because your brain is saturated in all of this mess. But instead of being stuck in that mess, the way you get out of all this thinking and all this doing is you start eliminating variables piece by piece. So the swings I'm talking about today are the when swing and the will swing. The when swing is your old swing. It's a swing built on timing. It works when you do it right. The will swing, it's not built on timing. It's built on unchanging laws of physics and geometry. And that means that it is a will swing. It will work when you do it. We're going to compare when and will, maybe give you an idea of where you're at in your game. And as we go throughout this video, what you're going to see is taking away a lot of the whens and replacing them with a lot of the wills. Ultimately getting you at the top of the mountain with a swing that doesn't rely on timing, instead a swing that is built on simple principles, laws that are unchanging, so it will work from day to day. And just an aside, pros don't build their swing on when, because they wouldn't be pros. Pros build their swing on will, because it's the things that make them great. We're going to begin with the most foundational element of golf, the fundamentals. It's not grip, stance, posture, alignment. No, the foundational element of all great ball striking is A1 contact with the golf ball. So when I get over the ball and I set up myself a certain way and I swing, I better have a great idea of where that club's coming into the ground. If I have no clue where that club's coming into the ground, how could I expect to have any power? Well, I certainly couldn't expect to hit it on the center of the face. I can't predict distance if I'm hitting it all over the place because I'm not hitting it on the center of the face. I'm hitting a toe, heel, anywhere. And I have an unpredictable ball flight. So we start at that foundational element. Everything is built from contact first. If we don't build off contact, then we're not going to hit it solid, we're not going to have distance. The first element of great contact, establishing a machine, is understanding that the golf swing is a circle. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, yes, you've heard me say this before. And I will say it until the day I die, because the golf swing being a circle means that if I establish the center of my circle here, and I extend my front arm all the way down through the club, that creates a radius. Which just basically means that at the bottom of my circle, which the bottom of my circle is out here, the bottom of that massive circle, it's out here, you'll see the lowest point there. That's why you'll see the divot just after the ball and the lowest point of the divot at my shoulder. Because the golf swing's a circle, we have to keep that circle intact the whole time. That is the first foundation of a will swing. Now, where does the when swing come in? Well, the when swing is this. Golfers who believe that they can shift off the ball, they can get their head behind the ball more, they can move their body off the ball. If you were to watch my front shoulder doing that, this is what's happening when you shift. It's moving back. If I even shift in the opposite direction, it's moving forward. What's that mean for my contact point? It means you're screwed. I'm screwed. Oh, right there. Your circle is compromised. So then you've got to make up a whole series of whens just to strike the ball well. That whole series of whens could come in the form of anything. Okay, I move off the ball, now what? I got to shift back, and then I got to hit it? Well, what's that look like? Off it, shift back, hit it. Off it, shift back, hit it. It changes your path of your swing. I don't know which swing you're going to have. I couldn't predict that based on a moving circle. You're gonna have an anything swing. What if I move it forward? Club gets really vertical, too vertical. And I'm hitting down and chopping at it. So that's the first when that you'll experience, is anything that moves you off the ball. So you build a swing that involves no moving off the ball, which means that we can create power on that circle. So we start from a foundation of this arm straight through here, and then I'm going to anchor something called weight forward. So I'm preserving the circle right here. I've set it. Circle is intact, and this weight forward is going to help me. Wow. You know, every time, did that go in the basket? That's a will. You know, it still freaks me out even doing in these episodes when that happens, because of my when past. My when past tells me that I can't be consistent because I'm so used to having all that junk. But then you get up and you set up to it, and you just, and it's ball first divot. That's the circle in action right there. And it went in the basket. So we built our swing from this basic foundation, anchoring the weight forward for contact, and then this shoulder is intact through here. The when swing is shift, the will swing is circle. The next thing we do to maintain this circle, we have to get more power, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to create something called rotational power, because we can't afford shifting. That changes contact right there. Rotational power happens on a circle. So I'm going to turn my shoulders and I'm going to turn my hips. And that gets the club traveling on this same circle. So you watch my front shoulder. Yeah, the front shoulder is going to move around my body as I'm creating power, but still the center of the circle is where my front shoulder was. So it's here. It's intact. You don't see my head move. That's why we use the head as a good reference, and we use the shoulders as a good reference. So if I look at the center, I've got the head, the center of my shoulders. You see the shoulders, you draw a dot on the center of my shoulders, you'll see them staying in the same spot. That tells you the circle is intact. Versus the when swingers are like, oh, I'm gonna move my circle. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I just moved my circle way back. Flub, or move my circle forward, chunk. So I'm going to turn my shoulders in a circle, my head staying in place. That's helped by the weight forward, the lead arm straight. And there's a ball divot strike. That wasn't even my best strike, but that was still a decent strike. Let's do another one. All right, 93 miles an hour club head speed, wow. For a nothing swing, and that was a slight mishit. Let's do it again. Beauty. Push draw right to my target. And what you'd see, if I maintained this circle, meaning my shoulders kept turning in the circle, I would end up striking the ground in the same spot every time if I keep my left arm straight and my weight forward. Every time. It would happen every time. It's a will. So you're not having this when, you're having it will work doing it this way. So you got that. Just basic summary right now. When swingers have no idea where the club's coming into the ground because they don't control the center of their shoulders. And that's just basically coming back to weight forward, arm straight. If you want to create power doing this, you have to turn these sources more. You don't create power on a line in golf. It's because I'm tilted towards the ground. And as I tilt towards the ground, this creates a circle around my body. If I was to swing in a line, contact's compromised. Contact's compromised, no distance. So that's why you see great ball strikers, they can't afford to shift. And they still hit the ball a long way. You try and hit as far as possible while swinging on a circle. That means we have to create a rotational swing. So I'm setting up the shoulders. Once again, I've got this straight line relationship, the weight forward, and let's just swing the shoulders. Not too bad. I hit it just slightly left of my target. Good club head speed on that too. I'm not sacrificing speed doing this, by the way. It's not like I'm swinging slower, swinging on a circle. No, the swing is built on a circle, so we have power on a circle. Angular power. Other things that go on in the when swing, we're going to talk about weight shift. We just covered weight shift. Any shift is a variable. This is a when. Well, when I shift it right, I'm going to get back to the ball. So weight shift actually means the mass of my body moves back or forward. A lot of people get this confused with pressure. Here's the difference between a weight shift and a pressure shift. My mass moves back, that's a weight shift. Back and forward, weight shift. You can see my body mass, the center of it is moving around. But with a pressure shift, this could be pressure in my right leg right here. In fact, that is pressure in my right leg, but my weight's forward. So think about weight as helping you to keep that circle intact. A weight shift always will move that circle. A pressure shift keeps the circle intact. So when people talk about weight shift, a lot of times they mean pressure. Just keep that in mind. It's a really confusing golf world out there on the internet. It's a lot of stuff in forums and a lot of crazy people just spouting armchair ideas that don't make any sense. So, the other variables, let's talk about takeaway. In the when swing, golfers are often taught to get the club toe up. So in a when swing, you have got to turn your hands. Rotate the club to toe up. That has an effect on your club face. So I'm going back to address here. Look at that. That club face is wide open. That ball is going to go way off to the right. So if I was to hit a ball from toe up position, I'm going to hit it off to the right. You see that right there? That is me going toe up and hitting a massive push. My face is 14 degrees right of my target. So you want to know why you're hitting it way off the planet to the right? Your club face is rotating in the first part of your swing. But no need to fear. The will swing is here with willpower. If I didn't go toe up, I kept the face quiet as I swing back, you're going to see the toe is actually slightly down at the ground. You're not seeing any rotation of the hands. Look at that, cupped wrist versus flatter wrist. And I could instantly, because it's a will swing, I will instantly hit this straight. Don't rotate the hands. You would swear it's magic, but it's really just a will versus a when swing. Look at that. I tried to keep the face as square as I could. I got it 0.8 degrees right, which is okay. That's a very straight ball. I eliminate the variable of hand rotation in the first part of my swing, and I hit a straight ball because the rest of my swing doesn't have to make up for that mistake. See, if I rotate my hands here, then I go to the top, it's open. When I bring it down, it's wide open. So how do I hit it? Well, I got to go down like this to close the club to get it back to square, or I got to rotate my hands hard. That's a whole lot of when. Coordinating this at a millisecond of time, it's impossible. Even no amount of practice could make up for that, get you to train to be good at that. It never happened. I don't know anybody who can just time that all day long. I'd rather not. So that's a big when versus a will. Another one is top of backswing. The when swing, people say, you gotta lift your arms all the way up to the top. This is like every Golf Digest from, I don't know, what you want to say, like, what, 60s? It's like till now, they're still teaching it. Go up with it. How are you gonna hit the ball from here? Okay, if I go right back to the ball, it's gonna be steep and down. So I can't do that. That's a when swing because it requires what? It's a variable, so it requires a change, a reroute to here, then hit the ball. That's not a power move. You're doing nothing. You're just doing nothing. You're wasting. This is a waste of time and a waste of effort. Compare that to somebody in a will swing who starts with their arms more connected to their body and they swing their shoulders around their body. The hands are deeper behind their body. So a lot of people say that's too flat. Well, it's not really. It's just they're uneducated. Two, when they start down, the shaft stays shallow. We can have a golf swing that doesn't have variables when we get the club in the delivery position from top to start. We get there first and we're right back to it. Just stay connected. It's a foundation of a will swing. So come check out the down the line view.
Getting better already, man. I'm absorbing.
Yes, yes.
I'm already getting better.
Hey, that setup looks pretty darn good from here. I don't know, it sounded like a ball divot strike.
He's trying to help me being so flippy.
Hey, if you're too flippy, you're gonna flip out.
I've been flipping out all day.
All right, so we're gonna do a swing the Wen way, and I'm gonna drop. Now, it's not to be confused with the local pizza place called Our Way. That stuff is a will, a must. Now, if I swing back and I lift, I have just disconnected my body and my arms. So now my body's going on one path and the arms are going on another. So how do you reconcile that? Well, you got to figure out how you're going to time it. That's like going to the arcade and you got that thing with the ball going in a circle, the thing that gets you the jackpot tickets, and you're like pushing the button and you're trying to hit it on that one light bulb. That's exactly what the Wen swing is. So I'm going to go up with it, I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to proceed to hit it. And let's hope the miracle all comes together. Let's just hope. Hope. I hate saying that word. It means like 1%. All right, so let's do it anyway. All right, I didn't drop it enough. When I drop it enough, I will hit it well. Yeah, that was just nonsense. When I drop it enough, I will. It's like those contracts that say, Sir agrees to provide services when or if, and it's like, well, he'll never provide. Or the warranties that say, well, we give you a 15-year warranty, but oh yeah, it doesn't cover anything. Yeah, that's a Wen swing. I'm here to call you about your car's extended warranty. Go up with it. Reroute. Schlinging it. That is goofy. I have to reroute it. That's going to be a really hooky ball flight when I start getting into the big stuff. All right. 168.6, 95 mile an hour club head speed. So you saw that I had decent club head speed there because I'm going up and I'm here, I'm in a good spot, then I hit. But consistency is questionable because it's a variable. Let's go up with it again. That's a lot of coordinating. That one was not caught by the sensor, but it hooked a ton. Am I lifting my arms high enough? I hope so, because it's hard. Gotta go up. I'm trying to find that key to 50 million fables. I'm trying to find the spot. The Wen swing, they call you the seeker. You'll be searching low and high. That one, 165.6, 93 miles an hour club head speed. Timing and more effort because I have to find that spot. So let's do one where all I do is connect my arms to my body, and instead of lifting, I'm just going to let the body put the club in position at the top, and I'm just going to let the shoulders continue through. That just sounds a little easy, doesn't it? Why? Why would I do it that way? Okay, connecting the arms to the body, pull the shoulders around, let the club go where it should. The club's just going to go where it needs to go. So, okay. Wow, that was really nice. I'm letting the club just go where it wants to go. Here we go again. Wow, come on. You got that one, didn't you? Yes, you did. Oh, that was my best. That was my best ones already. 180.8, 94.6, really smashed. And the effort level was minimal. Whew. That, my friends, is why we play golf right there. Because a Wen swing is about coordinating and a will swing is about just allowing. And when I allow things, I don't have to think about them. So I set the machine. Instead of lifting, I just get the shoulders continuing around the body. And remember, my contact is in the same spot because stage number 1, turning the shoulders in a circle. So the power is built in. The contact's built in. Let's do it again. I'm not even going to think about my swing, I'm just going to think about. Oh man, that was so nice. 167.7, 94.3. It's a nice, tall, straight mountain again. So we've eliminated a lot of variables here, haven't we? We have started the day at contact. We figured out what makes contact, why contact's important. For a will swing, contact means we keep the body turning in a circle around a fixed point. The when swing means we just seem to shift it because we think that creates power and all this nonsense. Just get rid of it, it's nonsense. The when swing says we have to lift our arms up and rotate our hands and do all this coordinating in here all the way to the top, then drop the club. And supposedly these people that invented these tips are experts. Physics and geometry just says, well, we don't have to change that variable. We just set with this at an address and we continue it all the way to the top. My goodness, that was hard. That was different, that's all it was. You gotta be willing to go different. If you've been hearing nonsense your whole life and you're discarding stuff that's different, if you're working with garbage over here in this pile and you continue to consume garbage over here, you're gonna get it every time. But if you change your program in your mind to will power, the swing that will work, you're working with laws. Those laws lead to results. Those results happen, it will happen. That's why I don't understand golfers who continually run the treadmill like a guinea pig. The same tips all the time just because they like, yeah, I agree with that. I've heard it my whole life, I'm brainwashed, yeah. I was that guinea pig, so it's not meant to be derogatory. I was doing that until we found something simpler. So the last variable is because you've rotated your hands in the backswing, you've got to now rotate your hands on the follow through. And they say that so you can square the face. Okay, yeah. That's me trying to square the face in a millisecond at a time. That's rotating a ton. This is called the club face rate of closure. And when this rate is very high, your ball flight is very unpredictable. The faster the rate, the faster the swivel of the face. So when it comes to hitting this ball, a high rate of closure means that I can't predict the start direction. So I could rotate my hands a lot, and I just hit a beeline lefter. You'll see impact for that. That was too much hand rotation. 6.7 degrees left club face angle at impact. Closed. I could choose to rotate less. So on this one, I may choose to go toe up in the backswing and then rotate less on the way through. Let's go toe up, rotate less. All right, that one went straight. And that was another when moment. I'm spending a lot more time thinking about how I'm going to get this club face squared up. Okay, I just got lucky there, really. It feels like I'm spinning a wheel on The Price is Right, and then I'm hoping it doesn't land on Bankrupt. Is that the right show? I'm mixing up Wheel of Fortune with Price is Right. And either way, you know, we want Bob Barker to do the announcing on this one. And then I could just I could rotate my hands and then like not rotate them all, and I'm gonna get a different result. So rotate the hands and then don't. That one's really open. That's open for business, way out there. Some people will say, that's where my ball goes all the time. So that one went way off to the right, face was 16 degrees open. That's 3 varieties of club face angle, 3 varieties of hand rotation. For you to become an expert of hitting the ball straight, I just tried to square it 3 different ways. I held off on one, I rotated too much in the other, and then somewhere in between is great. So that's somewhere in between. How do you determine from day to day where that's going to be? How do you master this? Well, you practice a lot. And even then, you're still guessing. in the will swing, we don't rotate the club in the first part. We don't do this. So when we get to the top, the club has not been rotated. When I bring it back into impact, I'm back where I started. So I don't think about where that club face angle is. I already know where it is, just based on where I started. I start here with it pointed slightly right of my target because I want the ball to start there. And then when I swing through, it's going to start slightly right of my target. I mean, and then you're probably going to say, well, oh my gosh, that's a miracle, because I can never... It's just setting up and bringing it around your body. I started that ball right because I just started with my club face pointed slightly right. And if you're skeptical of you're saying, well, you've spent years perfecting club face, Tom. You're a pro. I don't practice much at all. In fact, I need this swing to survive because I play a lot of guitar and I teach a lot of golf. So I can't afford to practice. I just can't afford to do all that timing. It just would never work for me. So I set the club face, I swing the shoulders around my body, and there it is again. And the funny story about this, it's been so cold out here and we have one nice day of filming. I haven't practiced in weeks. There it is again. I will shout this from the rooftops for a long time. You're working too hard on nothing. Average golfer spends 4,000 hours a year on YouTube working on nonsense. I don't think about club face on the way through. And it's a much more powerful release of the club. This release, instead of going like this through the ball, I can go like this, which is a lot of pushing and power out that way. And that push power, wow, it's just a lot going through that way through the ball instead of going down and rotating and all that. So the forearms, when you're going through, your forearms change places. So your forearms look rotated. Your hand is pointing at the camera, so that's a release. It's not the same. The old when release is this. Hands like this. The release I'm demonstrating is a push of the right arm. Look at my hand when I push. It rotates. I push, I don't spin. As I'm pushing my right arm and my right shoulder through, the club face squares. And then you see that turnover look. It is an entirely different way of hitting the ball. It is not flimsy and weak. That's coordinating. It is a push, punch, pow, bang. Very different. That was a nothing swing too. This stuff is getting taught in the Segudo.golf online golf school. I got a Become a Great Ball Striker mini course. It gets you introduced to creating a will swing and getting out of the when swing habits of your past. 17 videos, 45 minutes of content to make you a great ball striker. All right, so with the driver, do you think anything's changed? Well, Tom, you got a driver, so you must have a driver swing, right? No. Why? Because the laws haven't changed. I just have a longer club here. So I'm setting up with the driver against the ball. Contact is preset right here. I anchor the front side, this arm straight. As I continue back to impact, boom, center of the driver face, clean. It's gonna go to my target. You must maintain contact at all times. I put a warning sign on the wall. I'm going to swing the same way. I just changed my setup slightly so I can hit the driver higher and farther. I just add a little bit more weight forward here so I can hit shallower and farther, but it's the same swing. All this iron swing versus driver swing nonsense, it's the same swing. Why would you bring out a different swing for different clubs? Oh, I've got my 8-iron swing. Same swing, nothing's changed. I'm going to keep the hands quiet through impact, no release, no active hand, just no when stuff, just the will stuff. Here, here. All right, club speed 111.1, slight push off to the right. Not bad, but we can do better. Beauty. That's another, same one, 111.7, not swinging too hard. Now the cool thing about this These are kind of these nothing easy swings right now. I'm not really stepping on the gas because I'm just swinging the club around my body and letting the club go where it wants to go. Okay, that was still the same type of swing. That was a lot cleaner contact. 273.4, 112.3 club head speed. Contact is good because I'm turning in a circle. My angle of attack was 2 degrees down. My ball position might need to be a little bit more forward, just a hair. But that's not bad. So I hit 2 degrees down there. You know what that looks like? It's indistinguishable. It's basically level with the ground. People end up thinking hitting down with drivers like hitting down like this. Now the club's coming in at 2 degrees. It's like that. It's imperceptible. It looks, you would say it's flat. So PGA Tour average is what, down 1.3 on TrackMan data. So they hit down 1.3 degrees on average. All right, 280.7, 113.8 club speed. That one I moved the ball a little bit more forward, so we hit 1.3 degrees up. Now, I'm gonna really try and maximize, because I did that driver video back in July, I'm just gonna try and maximize everything and try and go for those numbers I was getting with the weight forward. So inching my club head speed more up and up. That was 114. The cool thing about this swing is there's no variable, so I'm just allowed to turn more if I want. I can add more power if I want. I can choose how much I want to apply. 274.6, 113 club speed. I want to get back to the days where I was swinging at like 117. That was a really cool time. At 270, 113.4. It's really straight. 270 carry. Just gonna really try and amp one up. That one felt really controlled and ripped. Yeah, that was a good swing. 272.3 carry, and then 113.6 club speed. So what we've done today is talked about the old swing that you're probably used to hearing from the past 100 years, which is the when swing. It works when you do it, like that jackpot machine with the ball going in a circle. You hit the button, sometimes it's good, and most of the time when you hit the button, you don't get the jackpot worth of tickets. That's why it's a jackpot. With the will swing, where there's a will, there's a way to the best golf of your life. Segudo Golf believes in life is too short to play bad golf. That's what we talk about on this channel, and that's what's going on in my online golf school. I'd love to see you there. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's turn your when swing into a will swing, and you will play amazing golf.